Okay, let's go.
Okay, the shtickle hashlama to yesterday, we spoke about the yeshiv al asafso or yeshiv al asafso. So we said that yeshiv al asafso could be derech cherus. Besides that, that's what we brought from the Bach. But we can give a reason occur, because in the Yerushalmi it says, the Yerushalmi in the beginning of Perek Asir of Arab Sochim. So the Yerushalmi says, Amar Reb Levi, the Gabi the Inyan of Chiyuv HaSeva. Amar Reb Levi, Lefi Shederech Avodim Dias Eichlim Umar, V'kan Dias Eichlim Esugin Loidia Shiyotzim Avdis L'Chayv. He says that HaSeva, the Chiyuv of HaSeva is because the Derech of Avodim Dias Eichlim Umar, they eat standing. And over here we eat Mesubin to let everybody know Shiyotzim Avdis L'Chayv. So it comes out that derech avodim is to eat mu'umut. So when I sit, so you have derech cherus over here because it's not like derech avodim. There's a of mesubin lo idea sheyotzim avdu l'cherus to make a special stress on the sefer. But yeshiva also could be derech cherus because we're not doing like avodim. The avodim are standing when they eat, and we're sitting. And that's like the Chok Yaakov says that yeshiva is also derech cherus. And the Alter Rebbe also says that it's derech cherus, and that's why derech cherus. That's why behalal we don't stand and we sit. So you see clearly that like you saw that yeshiva is also derech cherus. Then that hasiba al asafso is not derech cherus. Hasiba al asafso. A clear raya to that is from the Prima Godim. The Prima Godim says that if there's a chiyuv of hasiba al asafso, so if somebody doesn't have a safso, he has to be meisiv ala karka. Now meisiv ala karka for sure is not derech cherus. And it compares the meisiv ala safso to meisiv ala karka. If there's a chiyuv lahesiv ala safso, so then if you don't have a safso, you have to meisiv ala karka. If meisiv ala safso would be derech cherus, what's the shaykhis ala karka? For sure is not derech cherus. So you see that you saw that we spoke yesterday that meisiv ala safso is not derech cherus. It's only a zeicher lecherus. That you're doing a ma'aser sefer, but it's not derech cherus. In other words, the meisiv ala safso is a separate chiyuv for the etzem ma'aser sefer, even if it's not derech cherus. That only makor for that could be the midrash. That the chiyuv inside ma'aser sefer is a zeicher to the sefer that was b'shas Yetzias Mitzrayim, and that's why it could be the Alter Rebbe passes dafka yeshiv ala safso, because the chiyuv tonight of a sefer is not the ma'aser sefer inside atzmai. The chiyuv is to lahaser b'derech cherus b'derech shamalachim oich. That's the chiyuv, and therefore there's no inyan of lahaser ala safso. Okay, that's just I saw it yesterday. I forgot to bring these materials that I had. We'll mention also something else. Okay, so we said we want to be for the reason why the Rebbe brings Dafka in the Broshim, and he doesn't bring the inyan of that the Rambam and the Alter Rebbe bring that for the makor of his sefer the chur. Behegd. In the beginning of Tov Ayin Beis. The lashon of the Tur is Yeshachona Aruch and Va'idyaim Kadei Lecho Miyad Kishetechshach. you have to begin this. You have to prepare the table, so you should be able to begin the seder. Lashon Dal Rebbe, the seder. The Torah says "Kedei lecho," is not understood unless it means the kiddush and the karpas. But in the Alter Rebbe, the lashon is "Kedei sheyaskel as a seder miyad keshetechsha." Okay. Afterwards, next if Yisad Shulchan Yafa B'Kedem Noim, if he koichay Yocham Mokam Mishavish Yeshiv Seva Derechevus. That's the second halacha in the Torah, and that's the way it's also brought down in Shulchan Aruch. That Sif Aleph is Yochim Yeshulchan Aruch Mebayit Yoim. And the next halacha is Yisad Shulchan Yafa B'Kedem Noim, if he koichay Yocham Mokam Mishavish Yeshiv Seva Derechevus. So, Balabatish, although it's a gewaltige deuche, Balabatish, you're going to learn that since you have to Yochen Shulchanai, so he's telling you also with what you have to be making Shulchanai, and that you have to prepare the places, so you should be able to start right away. But if you take a look at the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, it's not, it's much more, and you could, Pashas, that's also what the Kavana in the Torah is. The Alter Rebbe in Tafayim Beis Sif Aleph Yir Shulchan Aruch Mevoid Yoim K'dei Lahaskel HaSeder Miyad Keshetechshach. That's the K'dei Lahaskel HaSeder Miyad Keshetechshach. So that's Sif Aleph. Then Sif Beis is you should make Kiddush B'Kodim Shetechshach. Sif Gimel, Sif Dalet, Sif Hey is dinim of Leah Leinu Rachman L'Islam Oval. Then Sif Vov Av Bisha B'Chol Hashem Tev L'Mayit B'Kedem Noim Zecher L'Churban. Even though a whole year, a person, when he sits down, he has to be Mayit B'Kedem Noim Zecher L'Churban. N'kol Mokom B'Leil Pesach Tev L'Harvis B'Kedem Noim. Leil Pesach you have to be Mayit B'Kedem Noim K'fi Koicha according to your ability. And then this halacha also, and it requires the Mavil, and it's brought down in the Poskim. V'afilu Kedem She'en Tzorech L'Suda Yisadim Yofa L'Shulchan L'Noi Zecher L'Chevus. It should be Masad the nice on the table, Zecher L'Chevus. So in the Gra, the Shulchan Aruch, by the Kedem Noim, the Gra says, to Sif Beis Sad Shulchanai, he says, Shezeu B'chal Derech Chevus. K'mo shekosuf Avdo the Mapik More. The Kavana is, the Gemara in Daf Kuftet Zayin, the Gemara says over there, we're going to get Leila Seder, Amalei Rav Nachman L'Dore Avde. Rav Nachman said to Dore, his servant, after the Mapik Vei More L'Chevus, Yoy Vei Kaspa V'Dav. And he gives him Kaspa V'Dav. My boy, the Meimalei, Amalei boy Le'Duya L'Shibuches, he said you have to praise him and thank him. Okay, that's a separate discussion. But so that's the makor for Kedem Noim, because you see that it's not stamp that the Eibusher took us out of Mitzrayim, freed us out of Mitzrayim, but Yoiv le'kaspa v'davo. So the Kedem Noim, so the Gra learns this is their cherus that was part of the cherus in Mitzrayim. So there's in the stencil they bring down the Reb Chaim. That the Gra says they're cherus, and bring down the Alter Rebbe. It says zeicher lecherus. He wants to learn pshat in the Alter Rebbe zeicher lecherus because the Kedem Noim have nothing to do with their cherus, have nothing to do with the seva. And the Gra says their cherus. Vice versa, that it's not only al zeicher lecherus, but it's because of their cherus. And so the Chaim brings. That's the way it's brought down in the stencil. That the Rashi and the Rashbam say by a seva, so what does the shulchan have anything to do with it? So he wants to say that If somebody's stomach will lean on his bed and there won't be a table there, that's the way it's brought down. So it's not that's not considered a seva. Part of the seva is that it has to be that you need a table, and since you need a table for the seva, so therefore you can say that the kedem noim also because of their chayrus, because like part of the table is also part of the seva. That's what's brought down. I don't believe that Chaim said it. I don't believe the Briskerov said it the way it's brought down, because it's impossible. Over there it comes out. If it was right that a seva is only b'shas achila and therefore I need the shulchan, so then the shulchan is not an integral part of the seva. The shulchan is only that I need a seva b'shas achila that might have a shtickle makor. And Kuta Sich is Chelek Yud in the order over there. The Rebbe declares that if somebody's in prison and doesn't have any food, whether there's a chiv of a seva with atzma, whether that's considered a seva, or it's dafke from the lashon of the Rambam and the lashon of the Alter Rebbe is mashma sheyechlu be'seva, that the chiv of seva is the eating be'seva and not stam seva. But that's a ma'isa haseva. That's mucha from a lot of places. Like it says like in Nechos Kriyashma, by Tachnun, there's a Zerua that remains tzad small because that shows a cherus to show that we're meshabed even our tzad cherus to the Eibush. After with tzad small is there a cherus. That's what the Zerua says. It brought down the place it's the Rebbe brings over there in the order that a Talmud is not allowed to be masic with the rabbi. That's in Hilchos Talmud Torah and Yeridea, because they're straw, it's gaiva, it's not covered. You see a seva is even without a chiluk. It's just etzimais a seva. Hilchos Kriyashma you have such a locha. If they're a gaiva, then you shouldn't be masic with Shas Kriyashma. And that's also what the Alter Rebbe paskins in the Second Sutta Hilchos Kriyashma by Halal that the Halal and the Agodi not allowed to be masic. Because there are times you see the Maisa Save is a Maisa Save even if it's not B'Shas Achila. Except that our eating has to be B'Sefer. When we eat, it has to be B'Sefer. And what the Rashi and the Rashbam Zeichen zu, the mention the Shulchan, it's not Xeris HaKosuv that I need Shulchan B'Shas Sefer. The reason why they're stressing Shulchan is you have in brachas Nun Aleph, by the machlokes of Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, in the order of Isuda. So over there, one of the things is Mechabdin es Abayis. So Rashi explains Mechabdin es Abayis, Makim she'ochlu sham. The place where they ate. If a seva al gabi karka, if you're a mesa al gabi karka, mechabdin es a karka. You have to be mechabdin the karka because you were mesa. And the mesa is how you sat down to eat, because that was the minute then that when they compared themselves achila, they used to be mesa. So if they were mesa al karka, so where did you eat al karka? So mechabdin es a karka. A meseva al shulchan, but if there were mesa al shulchan next to the table, mechabdin es a shulchan. So in other words, so there is could be the Rashi is clearly that those times when they ate used to be mesa. In the place of that's how they sat and ate. That's how they were preparing themselves for achila, which is moving from a lot of dinim, a lot of halachas, and all that. So could be the remains of a la karka. So then you have to, so you ate a la karka. So then you have to make it. Then you have to be mechabed as a karka. Or it could be other people are made of a shulchan. So they ate on the shulchan. So then you have to be mechabed as a shulchan, not the karka. So that's how Rashi is fire. Mechabed is a fire. It could be two or five. So shulchan is not a xeris hakosov. People sometimes they ate on the karka, so they were mason next to the karka, not to a shulchan. That's definitely not going to be their chayvus. So when since over here there's seva, a mice says seva, it's a mice says seva, even if it's a la karka. Chud. That's the chud way it's not. It's not so partial. But over here, the seva, B'leil Pesach, has to be dafka b'mita ala shulchan. It has to be next to the table. Somebody is meis for the karka and eats on the karka. It's definitely not kederech hamalachim, kederech hasorim. It's definitely not kederech. It doesn't show derech chayus. So that's what Rashi and the Rashbam mention ala shulchan, because sometimes over there you will be meis for the karka. So that's not the seva that we're talking about over here. Then there's v'chlal ha'orah.
Isn't that negating what the Prima Godim said?
What?
Isn't that negating what the Prima Godim said?
No, so fakert. The Prima Godim says if you're massive if you have to make ala safsel without carrying exosses, so if you don't have safsel, you have to be massive ala karkas. It's the same thing. That's the right of the Prima Godim.
It's a sova, but not kederech hamalach.
Right? It's a haseva, but not kederech hamalach. Then Islam is zaytik ha'orah. Zaytik ha'orah. I don't know the metzias of being meisiv ala karka, what the metzias is, how you meisiv ala karka. Because Rashi and Daf Mem Vov says, how is a seva? That the raglayim are ala karka, and you're meisiv only with the rest of your body. It's Rashi and Daf Mem Vov. It's Rashi Shtein God meisiv roish. התחילה בשם לא למעלה ממנו, מת השם מראשי של גולו, רש"י, sorry, בזמן שהם שתי מיטות, וגילים היו לאכול בסבב, על צידי השמאלית, מותר, that you're leaning, ורגלו לאורץ, and the feet are towards the ground, איש על מיטה אחת, every person on his bed. That's what Rashi says in Brachos. Comes out that according to Rashi, it's the way we do a seva. In the Meiri over there, he says the seva is that you're lying totally with your feet. You're lying on your left side totally. The whole body is lying on the left side. In the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, every time he mentions it, it says Yeshev b'Seva. There's yeshiva and you're mesiv. So if the getter of a seva is Yeshev b'Seva, that the feet are on the ground and except the upper body is leaning, and that's how you're mesiv. So then, how is it possible to be meisiv ala karka? I don't understand. And the Lashon of Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch is constantly Yeshev b'Seva. In the Siddur also, Yeshev b'Seva. He doesn't say Yesef. He says Yeshev b'Seva.
Maybe the pshat is in the seva and amita, you're completely off the ground, and yesh and a seva, whatever.
I don't know. I'm saying that when they mention a seva, it's Yeshev. It's always Yeshev. There's yeshiva. And Raglav La'oretz. In the Meiri Taka, the Meiri learns that seva is the whole body is leading. The Bavorins, it says, since the Godel is Beroish, and your whole body is leading, and you're Sheni Loi, so you have to make sure that your feet, you don't lean them towards the head of the other person, because it's not covered for the Godel, and you have to take the feet out of the bed. You said take the feet out of the bed, that they should, that's how the Meiri learns Pshat. But Rashi learns Pshat and says, that Raglav ala Oretz. And that's what the Alter Rebbe constantly says. I don't know how the Mitzvah is. Okay, that's just as I could go Oretz, which is not so much negay right now. Al Kaponim. So going back to Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim says that it's a machlokes, Alter Rebbe and the Gra, that Alter Rebbe says Zeichel Cherus, and the Gra says that it's Derech Cherus. And since you need a shulchan, so therefore the Kedim Noim have a shaykhis with Derech Cherus. Because the shulchan has a shaykhis to this thing. I don't believe Reb Chaim said such a mitzvah. It's impossible. Or Briskov, I don't know who they bring it down from. It's printed also in that Goda's Brisk, but I don't believe that it's from them. It's some kind of a Talmud Torah Goda. Because it doesn't make sense. Number one, like we said, the shulchan is not exeris kosev as part of the same. It's just the muck and where you're going to be mesi. Lafuke from Karka, and that's why you need the shulchan, like the Lashon of Rashi. In addition to that let's take a look in the Makor Halacha. In the Makor Halacha, how does the Mavil? The Makor is the Mavil, and you have to marry the Kedim Noim. It says, what's the beginning of the Mavil? Av bi shebechol hashana, you have to be married with Kedim Noim, Zeichel L'churban, still B'leil Pesach, because of Zeichel L'chayus, you can be married with Kedim Noim. Married with Kedim Noim. So the What's he avoiding? If the whole din of Kelim Noim would only be als derech cherus, shashirus, that would be the whole din of Kelim Noim. So then, what is the steer between the derech cherus and to make a zeichel l'churban? Verkehrt. In Tov Ein Vav, the Ramah brings the Alter Rebbe paskins that we eat a beitza al zeichel l'churban. B'shas the Suda. Even though it has to be with derech cherus. And I say b'shas the Suda is a mitzvah removed from because the Suda should also be derech cherus. So, and it's not a steer. The zeichel l'churban is not a steer to derech cherus. Like the Maral explains, the Rebbe brings down in the Sichas in a few places that we became a Metzias of Bnei Chayim. And the mikra of Golus is not Gereya whatsoever in the Metzias of Bnei Chayim. Even in Golus, our Metzias is Bnei Chayim. That's what Yetzias Mitzrayim accomplished. We're not Avodah. Avdei Hashem, v'lo Avdei Paro. And that's how we're Chayim, that we are in Golus. That's not a steer to that. We're Avdei Hashem. That's not a steer that we're Bnei Chayim to serve the Eibusher the way we want to serve him, and that we're not limited in that. So Zeich L'Churban is not a steer to their Chayim. Even a Ben Chayim, or even a Chuli, could be in Golus. And the Maral explains that the mikra of Golus is not Begea Ki who's there in the Mitzvah of Bnei Chayim. So therefore, if there is a din in Zeichel L'Churban after the Mai B'Kelim Noim, even though the tonight after the Snaig B'Keder B'Chayim show my Chayus, but it's not a steer to make a Zeichel L'Churban also. Just like we eat a beitza, it's not a steer to B'Nei Chayim. That's in Tov Ein Vav. That's why the Alter Rebbe and the Chok Yaakov brings that that's the Loshen in the Maril. I don't know if he had a different gears in the Maril, because in the Maril of Fenenu it says that the Kelim Noim because it's their Chayus. That's the Loshen of the Maril in the tools that they printed, the new tools in. Loshen of the Maril is, in the Seder HaGodah is Dalet, Kol Yemei Shalom Teifel Noei Kelim Noim, Man Miut Shroa Zeichel L'Churban. V'ad Meleilas HaSeder Fishateri is zero, the Har is Derech Chayim. So in the Maril itself, the way it's printed, we ask the Har is Derech. The way the Chok Yaakov in Simon Cotton Dal and Tov Ein Beis quotes the Maril, it's Zeichel L'Chayim. What's it's not a steer. The Zeichel L'Chayros, because tonight we have to remember Chayros and we have to think about Chayros, that's the type of Zeichel L'Chayros. It's not the Isnagus of Derech Chayros. It's we have to remember, that's why it's Deiche, the Zeichel L'Churban. Because tonight is a special Hadgosha of Zeichel L'Chayros. That's what the Alter Rebbe is not. What is that Metzias of Kelim Noim? Could be it's Derech Chayros. 100% is Derech Chayros. But if the whole din would only be because of Derech Chayros, what? So then it doesn't negate that it should make a Zeichel L'Churban. Since tonight there's a chiyuv that we have to do things Zeichel L'Chayros, so that negates the Zeichel that tonight that Gosha is not going to be under Churban. Tonight that Gosha is.
So why the Beit?
What? No, we still make a Zeichel L'Churban. We are still in Golus. We don't have a Korban Pesach. All these things. Yeah, we don't have a Korban Pesach. But the closest the Kahanoga that has to be. Because there's an union of Zeichel L'Chayros. Now, in the Gra itself is Muchach the Loiker Abchai. Because the Gra says the reason why we have to put is Derech Chayros is because of the Gemara in Psachim Kuf Tes. The Avda, the Maple, More, the Kaspa, the Zav. That's why it's Derech. Now, with this Chayros, well, the Stam Chayros that Eibush to freed us, but he gave us Kesef, the Zohar, the Chulik, the Chush Godlu. So, if it's mitzat as the dinner seva, the chiyuv seva, why do you have to bring that Gemara? He brings the Gemara in Kuf Tes Zayin because to show that this over here there is a special hadgoshet in the Kelim Noim because of the avdin of the Kaspa Bezov. If it would be like when he wants to learn, it's their chayers because of their seva. So let me just say mitzat dinner seva. And God doesn't say mitzat dinner seva. that's the and there's more. And like we said, the Chok Yaakov quotes the real to say Zeichel Cheres, like the Alter Rebbe. And then there's secondly, later by the Mishnah, Gevir the of Shulchan, Kufli Dalit, according to the Rach, Gevir the of Shulchan, that by Shas Kiddush there wasn't a Shulchan. If Shulchan is a chelik of their savor, so how do you bring the first case? And according to Rashbam, the Shulchan was there to hold them, but it will come out as Machlokes Rishonim. Make a new Machlokes Rishonim over here, where the Shulchan is a chelik of their savor. It doesn't make sense. The main and the Iker is schwer. If we take a look in the Magen Avraham, we take a look in the Chok Yaakov. A lot of places can say that the Kelim Noim of the that I have from the Goy that the Marg, even the Kelim that Noim that I should put to be Marg the Kelim Noim, even those Kelim that a Goy was mashkin by me, I put. They learn this on a separate table, not even on the table where I'm eating from. That you should see the Kelim Noim. It's a separate table. Even though the Alter Rebbe Taka Paskin says it could be on the shulchan of the Achila, that's a separate issue. And he could, the Alter Rebbe Paskin should be Mushtamish. There's a separate issue since the Mashka from a Goy, whether there's a Chash of Glegas Das, a Chash of Shel Shlema Das, are using those Kelim or not. So some of the place can Paskin that there is no, that's a Machlokes dependent on your day and dependent on Choshen Mishpat. It's a separate halacha. But it's not because they're arguing with something din of seva that they could be on the same table. And some place can say that it's not on a separate table. Is mitzvah din has seva? What does it help me on a separate table? Definitely it would have to be the shulchan achila. Okay, that's so. I don't. This is so schwer. So not understood. So like go. I don't know. And later Tfusim, when they bring this of Chaim, they bring this of Chaim only as a hezbollah that draws. The mashmit what the Alter Rebbe said. It's the only place where we bring the Alter Rebbe. I don't know why they have to bring the Alter Rebbe to bring the Chok Yaakov. Chok Yaakov also says that. The whole thing is, I think, some kind of a Talmud player about this whole thing. It doesn't make sense. About Kapon, so there is a din of the Sada Shulchanei Kelim Noim. So. In the Torah, in the Shulchan Aruch, I said we could be matrik, balabatish, that this shaykhis and yonim over here that he puts together, Yisad Shulchan Kelim Noim, and Dechin Yemokim and Shavit, Leisha V'derech HaSeva. This is a hemshich to the first halacha that you have to be misader everything, Koyim Shetechsha, so you should be able to start the Seder right away and not do any of these achonis later. Could be, but it's very balabatish that Dechin do that. In the Bach, it's clearly that the reason for the Kelim Noim is because of the Cholder, the Chayv, which pastures he needs to grow, the Gmor and Kufter Zayit, Kasper the Zov, they went out with riches, and you have to act with their Nechayr. Let's take a look at the Alter Rebbe's Hemshech and Don. Avi Shel Cholashon and Tevel Mai Kelim Noim, tonight with Marbe, that's Halacha Vov, Halacha Zayit, Ve'yechin Mokem Meshovesh Yeshu B'Sei Derech Chayv. So in Alter Rebbe, there is a hemshech al l'shenis. He says, "V'yechin that the hemshech to that what we just said, Yabba b'kelim noim. Also, you have to be mechin the mokem eshav sheyesh b'seiv derech. By Schuch, the two halachas are connected to one another. Over there it's zeichel chayus, and over here it's derech chayus. So according to what we just finished saying, that erochinami, even according to the Alter Rebbe, it could be al derech chayus, like it says in my real in Art Fusim, al derech chayus. But and that's not a steer. Why does he say zeichel chayus? He says zeichel chayus because to negate the zeichel churb that when sitting on the table making the seder, we are the whole atmosphere by the table has to be a chayristic atmosphere and not a zeichel l'churban. Why? Because over here tonight there's a chiyuv of zeichel l'churban. So what is so the Alter Rebbe is there seems to be a connection. Yochem mokem mishovash yeshiv eseva derech chayris. Derech shamloch ma'avlein fish b'chol derech chayiv adam laharis is atzmit ilu hu at yotzim shivim tzroy. So the Alter Rebbe seems to connect the two halachas, halacha vov and zayin, because it's the yochem with vov achibur. If the whole thing would be like we said, balabatish, only everything should be prepared, like in the tour in the Shulchan Aruch also there's every yochem. So okay, so because this also you have to do in order that everything should be prepared. But the Alter Rebbe, since he writes it in halacha vov, so obviously the whole halacha is not a hemshech to that you have to prepare for before the night. So this, what the Alter Rebbe says in Halacha Zayin, also goes in the Kelim Noim. That by putting the Kelim Noim out al Shulchan, so that's also a chelik of the chiyuv of the whole there chayiv on the haris is atzim kivu at the yotzim. It's also a chelik. Now, in the Rambam, he's not mentioned anything about Kelim. The Rambam doesn't mention, there's no word of Kelim in the Rambam. Not a remes, nothing. It's only, the Maril, it's the first Makor, whatever it is, that the Alter Rebbe does Preston. Brought down in Shulchan, to in the Shulchan Aruch is brought down. In the Rambam, there's no remes for Kelim. In the Lashon in the Alter Rebbe in Halacha Zayin, the Bechol Derech Chayiv Adam Laharis is Atum Kivu Atu Yotzim Shivut Mitzrayim. Shneva Avu Ze Asa Hashem Libet Tzeisim Mitzrayim. And the Alter Rebbe figures says the Fichach Tzarech Lases Kol Ma'aser Laila Zer Derech Chivus Commission is back. We already said, what's the commission is back? The Alter Rebbe doesn't speak the Proti Halachos of a Seiva until later. So the Taka want to be Magia, that's coming. She is Bayer, it's a food. Where's the Nizbai? There's one deal. And the second deal, which nobody speaks. I mean, the Rebbe brings it down in the Sikha, in Chelik Beis, but it's not Mefarish so much. What is the Pshat? So Ichlasis Kol Ma'aser Laila Zeder Chil. Kol Ma'aser Laila Zeder, you have to do their Chil. Everything we do is their Chil. Okay, there's certain things where we have to be Mason. Okay, we're drinking wine. That has to do with the Rambam says that that's their Chil. But Kol Ma'aser Laila Zeder Chil. We don't hold like to be like we said yesterday. That everything has to do with Seiva. Okay, according to the Chok Yaakov, Yeshiv, maybe the yeshiva itself is also there, like we said before. That so first of all, our minhag is that we stand by Kiddush. That's what we brought that about. Our minhag is that we stand by Kiddush, not like the Chok Yaakov. So where's Kol Ma'aser Laila Zeder Chil? Even though it's going to say yeshiva is also there. And how does it express itself? Maybe you could say, I don't know, that since the Kos Rishon, and by the Dal Koses I have to drink by Seva, and by the Dal Koses, everything that we say on the Kos, so now it's Damiris HaGodah, Damiris HaKiddush, Damiris HaOd, Damiris HaMazon, and it's said on this Kos. When I drink the Kos by Seva, it makes everything into. It makes everything is shaykh to the chayrus of the drinking of the kosh, how I drink the kosh bracha. So what I say in the kosh is without the shaykh, the whole agod is said on the kosh. I'm not sure that the whole agod is said on the kosh. The fiqh you have to say on the kosh. The shir of the hisham you have to say on the kosh. But the whole agod is said on the kosh. Okay, the whole agod we uncover the matzah. And the pasha is lechem she'ein lavroim harvei. The agod is said on the matzah, not in the kosh. It's not the whole Agod is not a shira of a case, like we said, we have mentioned in the Shainim. The Agod is the Sipur Dvorim, that's the Sipur Yitzhak Mitzrayim. It's not said in the case. Where is the Kol Ma'aser Laila Zeh? Said according to the maybe. So I think there is a Yesodistic Machlokes. I'm not creating that Machlokes. The Rebbe already explains it. At this point, the Rebbe, someone Chelgi Beis, doesn't bring out. But the Rambam says the sort of Chiyuv Shpir is because of the whole Dever. The Rambam in Halacha Zayin, he says that the whole Dever Chayav Avdir is not Yilu Yotzim Mitzrayim, Schach together the Yisa, etc. That's the Tzad Hashavah between the Rambam. Then the Rambam goes on, the Fichach, in the next Halacha. The Fichach, everybody has to be basic, and everybody has to drink Arba Koises. Shal Yayin. Jerech Agav, we spoke about this a little bit. The Lashon of the Rambam is, you have to drink Arba Koises Shal Yayin, right? According to the Brisker Rov, that Meziga is Ma'akif in Chayus, that if the Yayin was not Mozuk, so Yidei Chayus like Yotzo, that's Ma'akif the Shtiyas HaKois. So this Lashon of the Rambam over here in the Halacha Zayin, Kol Echad Chayav Gish is Dal Kois Shal Yayin. He doesn't say Yayin Mozuk. Only later he says Yayin Mozuk, that you have to be Moised the Kois. And the Maggid Mishnah learns later you have Moised the Kois. It's only Mitzvah Namufra. Forget, even according to the Shittas of Rambam, the din of Shtiyas Yayin, the din of Shtiyas Yayin is Mitzad to the Oilam, according to the Rambam. And everybody has to be amazing. That's the Shtiyas Yayin. They have to drink wine. Einochinami Taka Yayin Mozuk is in the Piskei Revi'ah it says that the reason why it has to be Yayin Mozuk to show that you're drinking like a Ben Chayrin. Which that would be a shtickle, not like a shikr. So a Ben Chayrin drinks wine, he drinks wine Mozuk, that is knowing the time. A shikr drinks wine, he'll drink rubbing alcohol also. That's the shikr. So according to Brisker Reed, maybe it has to be, but the Rambam just says, Ishta Arba Kois is Yayin. Doesn't mention anything about Yayin Mozuk. And since we're talking over here about the Chiyuv Shtiya because of Chayrus, the Churi should say Yayin Mozuk, not Stam Yayin. Okay, that's a separate deal. But Al Kapon, so that's what the Rambam says. Let's take a look at the Alter Rebbe. Halacha Yudalit. When do you have to be Macy? Shas Achilas Kazais, Shemavorech al Achilas Matzah, B'shas Achilas Akirche, make of Matzah more, B'shas Achilas Afrikaim, B'shas Shtiyas Dal Koises, in the time that you're drinking the Dal Koises. If you should call Dvoim Elu and Zechel Geula Lecheirus, because all these things are Zechel Geula Lecheirus, Shadal Koises Tiknu Keneged Dal Sheni Shal Geula. Hamur the Parshas for Elu. Etc. If the Alter Rebbe would hold like the Rambam, that the Chiyuv Shtiya is Dal Koises, is because it's Derech Bnei Chayrin to drink wine. Derech Bnei Chayrin to drink wine, like the Rambam says clearly, Behemsha, that there's a Chiyuv of Shtiyas Yayin Dal Koises because of the Chol Dever there. Why does the Alter Rebbe need a reason for Dal Koises? Because they connect it Dal Sheni Shel Gula. The whole Chiv HaSheva is because of the Chol Dever there. The whole Chiv of Yayin is because of the Chol Dever there. So obviously it needs a Seva. They're both of the same din. They're one din. The Mitzad Derech Chayus, you have to drink wine. So of course you need a Seva. If the whole reason for Shtiyas Yayin, for the Shtiyah of Dalet Koises, is because of the Fichach, the Shtiyas Yayin is because of the Fichach. Why does Alter Rebbe need a reason? Because Kol HaDvarim Elu is Kol HaDvarim Elu Zeichel Gula B'Cheirus Shar Koises Tikna Chacham Keneged Al Sheish Gula. Why does Alter Rebbe need this reason? Which is Dafta Mitzad the Dalet Koises. And the Rambam is Mutlish Shtiyas Yayin. He also says Shtiyas Yayin Shal Dalet Koises. That's Mitzad Halacha L'Maisa. Dalet Koises Taka because of the Dalet Sheish Gula, or could be because of other reasons. That's the Rebbe discusses over there in Chelik Aleph in the order. That according to the other reasons of the Shalmi, it's not because of the Sheish Gula. So even in other words, the way the Rambam puts Shtiyas Dalet Koises, it could very well be, the Rebbe says in the order that The only reason why the dollar crisis has to do with Cherus, the Cherus of the dollar crisis, because they connect dollar Shenish Beula. But according to all the other reasons, connected dollar Krish Puronia is connected all the other reasons that the Rishonim says that the Rebbe brings in the Haggadah, right? Take them to Gedal Shel Beula, Shein Keneged Dal Gzeiras Shegoz Parei, Keneged Shviris Dal Klipes, Keneged Dal Krish Shel Parei, Shel Niris of Isaac Cholim Bedulos and Shel Yisrael, Kedosh V'Dal, Keneged Dal Malchias, Keneged Dal Kosh Shel Shekadosh Baruch Hu Mashkas Yinas Oilo, etc. Keneged Dal Asias Shem Avai. So the Rebbe already says, according to all these reasons, according to what the Rambam says, that I have to drink Shtias dollar crisis, Shtias Yain dollar crisis. It's because of the Fichoch. So the dollar crisis could be any one of those reasons why it's dollar crisis. And it's still the Shtias Yain has to do with Cherus. The Shtias Yain has to do with Cherus. The Rebbe over there writes that no, according to those reasons, so then Cherus is a totally separate thing from dollar crisis. There's enough dollar crisis, and Cherus is a totally separate thing. Okay, it's a whole order. You look up and you see Cherus. So the Chure, according to the Rambam, according to the Rambam writes that the Shia is dollar crisis because of the thing. The Alter Rebbe writes the reason why I make a say with dollar crisis because they connect dollar Shia. That's why you have to make a say. According to the Rambam, I don't need a reason because they connect dollar Shia. I have to drink the wine and I have to make a seder because the Etzem Shtias Yain is a chelik of the Derech Bnei Chayim. So Lani is Daiti. The Rebbe explains in Chelik Yudbeis that the Rambam and the Alter Rebbe are arguing in the Pshat of the Chol David. That according to the Rambam, according to the Rambam says like this. Chol dervdei chayiv odom lahayz latzim keilu hu ba'atzim yotzo atom mashib mitzrayim shneim roitz yotzo shoma. Though the tzira kodesh baruch hu teretz chat ke'evet yisa koyim kili atom ba'etzim yisa evet. That's the lashon of the Rambam. According to the Rambam, the main adgosha is yotzos lecheres v'nivdis. He's evet yotzos lecheres. Not a special adgosha on the avdus of Mitzrayim. The main adgosha is the tzasa lecheres v'nivdis. In the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch it says, "Ador zeh tzivah kodesh baruch hu zat ke'eved yisur b'Mitzrayim ki la'ato ba'atzmecha al yisur b'Mitzrayim eved b'Mitzrayim eved." Not stam yisur eved, but you weren't part of the avdus. V'nivdis yatzasa lecheres. So the Rebbe explains over there in the Sikha. The Alter Rebbe used the lashon nivdis yatzasa lecheres. And the Rambam used the lotion, it's also the Cheres v'nivdis. And he said, and the Rebbe explained that by Stam Avdus, what comes first? It's here the Cheres. Nivdis, that's when you're back in your house, it brings the halacha in Hilchos Levo, that's when you're back in the house, that's the Nivdis. So what comes first is, it's also the Cheres, you're not Meshubed anymore, you're Odin, and then Nivdis, you become a total Ben Cheres. The Alter Rebbe that stresses b'Mitzrayim evet. In Mitzrayim there couldn't be Cherus before the Nivdis, because an evet and yochel levarech misham unless he managed to escape and reach Piach Chirus, then there was a chayk in Mitzrayim that when you reach Piach Chirus you became free. So what's first? First is Nivdis, that you ran away. You're still Meshubet. When are you yotzer the chayvus that you're going to go free? That's only when you reach Priya Chiyus. So it explains a lot of details in the Alter L'Shenis of the Rambam and the Alter Rebbe. He explains over there in that Sichon Chelik Beis that according to the Rambam, Tedem Chol De'Odei Chayv Nirtzvei Yidu Atzmei Yotzel Atom Shibud Mitzrayim. And he went, what's the pshat Yotzel Atom Shibud Mitzrayim? Not that I was like an Evet in Mitzrayim. There's no Shibud Mitzrayim, there's no Shibud on top of it. And that's what the Rambam used the Lashon Kilat Batzim Yisa Evet. The Alter Rebbe learns the Bechol De'Odei Chayv Nirtzvei Atzmei Yidu Atom Yotzel Shibud Mitzrayim that Ki'ilu Ato Yitzu Evet b'Mitzrayim. There's another diuk in the Rambam. I don't know. I don't remember that. Sichri brings it. Mitzvah Adiyah Lebon. The Rambam explains how he's telling this story. Kate said, "Haya cotton, I tipish. Emel b'ni klona yinu avodim. K'may shifcha zu, k'may evet zu zeh b'Mitzrayim." That the Rambam is comparing that we were avodim. Not the special, the avodas perach, and the special shibud of Mitzrayim, the koshi of Mitzrayim, and the special avdus of Mitzrayim, but k'mo shifcha zu, k'mo evet zeh. You pointed out. The place was in Mitzrayim. Because the main thing, he said, evet, yatzasa the cheres and that's how so I can point out, k'mo shifcha zu. According to the Alter Rebbe, shifcha zu, evet zeh is not a dugma. What are you going to say that over here the Rambam is only talking about a ben cotton? He says, the Rambam doesn't change the Evet Zu. Just you don't. But it just talks about the other things that happen. The Ben Cotton doesn't understand everything. He doesn't understand the Moshe Rabbeinu. He doesn't understand the mission of the stories. But he can understand Evet Zeh, that's all he can understand. But he doesn't change that by Ben Godel I have to. So maybe the Ben Cotton doesn't understand the difference between Shibud Mitzrayim and a regular Evet. Maybe. But then by Ben Godel he should say, don't give the dugma of Evet Zeh, Shifcha Zu. It's a wrong dugma. It has nothing to do with the Chol De'Odei. So according to the Rebbe, this is very meduya. That according to Rambam, it's not Shibud Mitzrayim. It's just that. Because we were avodim, not out for special thing of Shibud Mitzrayim. According to, and the Rebbe explains that the Rambam brings the pasuk with son hoitzim for the Bechol De'Odei. The Alter Rebbe brings because the Rambam in his Mishnah there was no pasuk for this chinuch. So it just the Gemara says by son hoitzim. So it's son hoitzim. In our Mishnah, the way we have the Girsa, so there's the pasuk about Ze'os Hashem li b'tzeisi mitzrayim. Now it's I went out of Mitzrayim. So it's a different pasuk. The Rambam brings that pasuk. That's machlokes of the Rambam and the Alter Rebbe. The Rebbe explains in the Sichon Chelik Beis. Comes out over here. According to the Rambam, the Bechol De'Odei is the B'nai Avodim and the B'nai Chayim. Der B'nai Chayim is Lishtish Yayin. And that's the favorite. Because that's their B'nai Chayim. And now the Metziah is of B'nai Chayim. And therefore the Rambam learns out the Shtiyas Yayin from the Bechol De'Odei. If there is a Chiyuv of Bechol De'Odei that I went out of Mitzrayim, so the Chiyuv of Bechol De'Odei is that as if the Gulas Mitzrayim, the way it was, happened to me also. I have to relive the Yetzias Mitzrayim the way it was. And that's the Chiyuv of Bechol De'Odei, that every year, Pesach, we're going out of Mitzrayim. There is a Mitzrayim. And we're going out of Mitzrayim. And that is the Chiyuv of Bechol De'Odei. Do we find anything that has to do with Shtiyas Yayin? By Yetzias Mitzrayim? You don't. Now, when I'm talking about Bnei Chayrin, Matzah, we find by Yetzias Mitzrayim. Where do you find Shtiyas Yayin by Yetzias Mitzrayim? Where's the Hadgosha of Shtiyas Yayin by Yetzias Mitzrayim? So if the Hadgosha is Bnei Chayrin, to act like Bnei Chayrin, so then Shtiyas Yayin is the Hadgosha of Bnei Chayrin. It's even a mocking to say that's the Yayin Mozik, although it's not much like that. because that's the like the Piscarit says. But mostly because that's the derech of how Bnei Chayim drink. But so the etzem shtiya, that's the hagosha derech Bnei Chayim. That's the hagosha of derech Bnei Chayim. Like a free person nowadays. That I'm not an ever. That now with my mitzvah is that today I'm free. I'm not an ever. That's because of Yetzias Mitzrayim. According to the Alter Rebbe, I have to relive Yetzias Mitzrayim. So the whole day over there is reliving Yetzias Mitzrayim. What didn't happen in Yetzias Mitzrayim, why should that be a chiyuv? So the chiyuv of shtia, the dal crisis is because the keneged dal v'shen shogula. That is the whole mitzias and the mahus of the dal crisis. And the reason why they need a savior, because they come because they're zechel lechelus. That's why they need a savior. They have to act like a baby. That's what Alter Rebbe says in Halacha. So now, so according to this, that's the pshat of Alter Rebbe. Kol ma'aseh layla zeh derech chayv. Because of the whole day over there, I have kelim noim. Why do I need kelim noim? The yesod of kelim noim is because we talk about that Mitzrayim. It's kelim kesef v'zor. The mind of kesef v'zor. That's part of the derech chayvus. That's part of the whole day over there. And the kelim noim is not only zeichel chayvus, but it's also taken. And yochid mokem eshavim. Leish v'derech chayvus. This hachana of mokem eshavim is not only preparation so everything should be ready, so I should make the seder. That is the halacha, that I have to be sitting by a table where everybody will see how I'm going to be sitting by a seder. B'koyach. That's the table. The table is filled with kelim noim. The table is ready to sit by a seder. That is the derech chayvus right now. And this is the everything I do tonight is on such a table, in such a minute that there's a lot of ribit kelim noim. I'm going to be sitting by a seder when I eat. When I'm not eating, I don't have to sit by a seder. I shouldn't sit by a seder b'shas amiras hagoder because I have to sit with derech eretz b'shas amiras hagoder b'shas saying the brachos. Could be I have to stand by kiddush. I mean, standing for sure not is derech chayv. Like our minute. But the table is a table of a ben chayvin. My metzias over here is I'm in a maimed, I'm in a matziv of bnei chayvin. The kol ma'aseh layla zeh b'derech chayvus. Why? Because I have the kelim noim and because the table is there. Now, which halacha l'ma'aseh comes out that not I bring the pillows for a seva. B'shas I'm going to eat the matzah or b'shas the shtiyas hakos, and then I throw away the pillow. No, it has to be nikr that I'm going to be sitting by a seva. It has to be a yachin makom eshavai shiyuchal. What's the lashon? Yachin makom eshavai sheyeshiv eseva derech chayvus. That your moshev is that you should be able to sit over there. That you should be able to do this. And these pillows should be there the whole time. Even though the b'shas amiras hagoder shouldn't be mesiv, it's not derech chayvus. But that it's mucham le'seva, that that's the way I'm going to eat. That is derech chayvus. Because that's the table that I'm sitting on. That's the place where I'm sitting. That there's the kelim noim. That's so that how I have kol ma'aseh layla. So it's taki commotion is buyer. Kol ma'aseh layla zeh tzorich yoyz b'derech chayvus. Commotion is buyer, not commotion is buyer. The pot didn't have saved. Because I prepared kelim noim on the table. Because I have all these things, and that's the Alter Rebbe Shittos comes out according to the sheet of the Alter Rebbe. What has to do? Why does there have to be a saver? If let's say by Yetzias Mitzrayim there was no saver, just like by Yetzias Mitzrayim there was no shtiyas yain. Why do there have to be a saver? The chiva of b'chol der is to relive Yetzias Mitzrayim. So if I don't have a makor that by Yetzias Mitzrayim there was a saver, why would I have to be a I would need it. What would be chayv? What's the makor we see as Mitzrayim? He was a savior. That's the midrashim. So it comes out these midrashim they are the yesod. Why mitzad b'chol over there have to be made? Without these midrashim, b'chol over there wouldn't be chayv to be made. According to the sheet of the Alter Rebbe. That's why Dafta brings the Midrash, not the Bechol over there, because Bechol over there, according to the sheet of the Alter Rebbe in itself, would be Mechayiv to say, just like it's not Mechayiv Shtiyas Yain. What? It's the Alter Rebbe the sheet does it. All right, this is the only problem with this Mahalach is what am I going to do with the Rama? So now, according to the Rama, Taka say it's only the Tzaddik over there, but the Alter Rebbe, according to the Alter Rebbe, you also need the Midrash.
So Alter Rebbe brings this to show even according to Alter Rebbe why he
right.
So according to Am Rizava Pasha.
Yeah, okay, so that's it. No,
so you don't need a Asba for the
no, but I'm saying, so I need the Midrash
for the Alter Rebbe.
For the sheet of the Alter Rebbe. All right. Oh, this